My name's Melissa, and this is my channel Geeky Witch about all things cross-stitch in my life. It is August 17th, 2026, and this is a video a day August. So I missed a couple of days last week, so I won't completely fulfill, the August goal, but hey, life happens, and I'm doing this in the center of a very, 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 very busy time in my life. So a couple of days for mental health, I will accept it, you know? Um, so it's the middle of the month, and I am doing my plans for week 3 of a video a day August. And this week is going to be a little weird because we have all of a sudden things are really moving with our house move. We're like in full on go mode. So we have professional cleaners coming on Thursday, and so they're going to clean everything up. We have power washers coming to do the outside of the house on Saturday, and we're trying to figure out a time to meet up with our real estate agents to get photos done and get this sucker on the market. And the other reason that we're now in full on go mode is that yesterday we toured a couple of houses. Both of them, we really liked the insides. One of them, unfortunately, because it was at the very top of our price range and it still needed quite a bit of work on it, we decided it's not for us. Not at the price it's at, because it needs too much work. The other house we really, 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 really like. And right now, the only thing holding us back from let's make an offer on this, is that it is just a little bit outside of the commute range that my husband had set for, a limit for commuting. That said, it still is going to save him a half hour per direction in his commute. So that's an hour a day that it's going to save. He's going to track his commutes to and from that location for the next few days while we get all this other stuff at our current house settled. And ask our real estate agents if they can find, if there's anything out there that's like comparable to this house, because it really, other than the distance, it checks every box. So things may move really fast in our lives as of this coming weekend. We may be making an offer on a house. Who knows how fast our house is going to sell once we get it on the market. And it's like, so I'm keeping with all that lead up, I'm keeping my stitching goals a little bit more restrained this week because I don't know how fast things are going to start moving this weekend. So while I've had like a couple of pieces on my plans every week, I'm sticking to one this week, and it's going to be Fruit of Plenty. This is where I'm at right now, and this is stitched on 40 count antique ivory from Silk Weaver, so it's linen, and I am doing it in DMC 800, which is the light blue, and 840, which is the light brown. And so as you can see, I've got most of the top section done. Now, when this was originally released, when I started stitching on it, it was a monthly stitch along. So what you see here is January, February, and March. And there's like a little drag of February left here, and a little bit of March over here. But of course, we're now 5 years after the stitch along, so at this point it's just kind of a organic build it out as I go. I'm not really sticking to the months of the stitch along. So this is where I'm at. And last week I finished getting all of this ribbon section outlined and the triangles over here done, and did a little bit of this border over here. This week's goal, I'm going to wrap up outlining the ribbon on this side. And then my plan is to rotate between doing the brown detail work that's kind of up in here and a little bit here in the center, and then doing like a couple of lengths of blue every single time I stitch so that I can get those ribbons going. And I don't know how much I'm going to get done this week, but the goal is to get this part done over here and then just start getting some blue filled in. So yeah, that's it. I do not have a Tudor Rose stitch along this week. That will be next week. I did get an announcement that I believe it's the Queen City Guild is having their stitch along on Thursday night. Let me take a quick. Yeah, the Queen City Sampler Guild is having a stitch along on Thursday. I think I have a conflict with that. But I may try to pop in and say hi, since I joined the guild, but have really not. I've kind of joined it as supporting them, but I really haven't been at any of the events yet, just because I joined as this chaos was all starting. I hope that, once we move, I can commit to going to more things remotely, since I am not in the Queen City. But yeah, this week is basically going to be filled with house stuff. My plans as far as videos and whatnot this week: tomorrow night will be a recorded video. The topic I have chosen for it, let me get that up. I had a stitching essentials. So I'm going to show you what is in my supply bag tomorrow night. Wednesday, I'm going to do a Stitch With Me live from 10:30 to about 11:30. I may go a little late since I don't have to work on Thursday. But I will be doing a live Stitch With Me on Wednesday night. On Thursday night, I am probably going to do another live Stitch With Me. Or I might do it that afternoon. We'll see how things go, because like I said, there's going to be cleaners here, so I got to kind of play by ear. Friday, I definitely am going to do a live. I'm going to do reverse. I'm going to do some reverse. What am I thinking of? Sprints. Yeah, that's the word. Can you tell it's almost 11:30 at night? Yeah, so I'm going to do reverse sprints on Friday. I am planning on doing those during part of the day. So it's going to be a pop-up. It's probably going to be around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, U.S. Eastern time. I have to take my son to go do a couple of back to school errands, because he starts the following Tuesday. So I need to get him all settled. Once I'm home, we'll kind of chill for a little bit, and then I'll get on here and do some reverse sprints. And that might be a reverse sprint until whenever I get tired of stitching. So that will be Friday. Saturday, I have a WIP weekend. I need to get my blog fixed, because all of my Whipocalypse stuff is on there. But I'll talk to you about what I'm doing. My plan is for the weekend, and again, that kind of depends on what's going on here. But I also am going to include some information on some pieces that are my stitchy bucket list. What pieces that I feel like I have to do during my lifetime to feel like my stitching repertoire is complete. We'll put it that way. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. If you have some ideas of projects you think would be on that list, put them in the comments below, and I'll tell you on Saturday how close you are. Sunday, I will be doing my normal sprints from 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then next week we will start it all over again. So that is my plan for the week. It's really going to be just a stitch as much as I can week because, like I said, everything's moving. And I will see you tomorrow night with my stitching essentials and what I always keep in my supply bag. Till then, have a great night, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.